From Ten Hag's assistant manager to jobless, Ronald Chrooman followed Ten Hag back to the Netherlands to become more successful than him. Ten Hag struggled in his first season with FC Utrecht, while Chrooman earned promotion with FC Eindhoven and a new owner. A tycoon is financially the best possible type of takeover you can get. If you can ignore the shadiness of how that money came to be, it speeds up your club's progress and gives the team a makeover. Chrooman and Schlatts built a tight relationship, with new scouts signed, facilities upgraded, and most importantly, not sacking the Dutchman. Even helped decrease the wages of players. Others got an increase, like El Bucha allowed to live off a wage. Plus, lonely goalkeeper Joachim Olsrud joined permanently. Now, it wasn't the 40 million stated he would make available, but with 10 million for transfers and almost 300k free in the wage budget, a lot could be done. Many defenders were signed. A Croat, a Uruguayan, a Polishman, a Senegalese, 2 loans from Chelsea, and a KFC bucket of Americans. The US became a goldmine, as there was no tariffs on footballers. Not everyone was set for success, and a few sales were needed to balance Olsrud's transfer. Many predicted FC Eindhoven to roughly finish in 11th place. Ten Hag, on the other end, was expected to improve Utrecht to 5th. Thanks to a 7 million sale to a player previously out on loan, their quality of depth improved. The two's first interaction wouldn't arrive until matchday 14 in November, so until then, Chrooman had to focus on a strong start. Unfortunately, due to Janga's hip injury to end last season, and Talea's future stolen by Toulouse prior to Bouzas' arrival, Diabolical and the promising Verlat paired together at striker. Their campaign began with fellow promotees, ADO Den Haag. And the formerly unwanted Diabolical grabbed Eindhoven's first Eredivisie goal since Lambert Kregels on May 15, 1977. That date was their final game in the Eredivisie until now. Unlike then, where a clean sheet was kept, ADO Den Haag equalized. Hjamfi was the goal scorer, and he'd contribute again, but not in the correct net. Chrooman's temporary luck vanished with Diabolical injured, and an ADO equalizer. Both sides got chances for a winner, and at added time, Janga, who recently returned, put in a bullet cross to Verlat, and the youngster found the winner. Though with Diabolical's injury, Shai Hershko, aka Hershey, was signed. A striker with incredible finishing and other impressive attributes, he topped off the 16 additions made, as Jolt and Chrooman must have looked at the Chelsea strategy. In FC Eindhoven's first home game in the Eredivisie since 1977, Sparta Rotterdam would defeat them 2-1. Not nice to lose with a failed clearance. Next up was Ajax, who defeated Chrooman 7-1 last season. It went a lot better than anticipated, a mere 1-0 loss. Ajax were perfect through their first 3, and so were Ten Hag's Utrecht. Trash talk isn't Chrooman's specialty. When he stoops that low, his overconfidence slaps him in the face. When an opposition manager does it, like Vitor Panera, Chrooman embraces it and adds him to the hate list. Heishman opened it up in the second half, El Bucha extended it from the spot, and Verlat's brace totaled it to 4. That gave him the talent of the month, and this kid had the potential to be the best goal scorer in club history. Too early to say at age 17, but with Joey Slegers no longer at the club, and Mr. Eindhoven Henk Bloemers having the record, it was in his hands, or feet. Simple schedule or not, Ten Hag won his first 5 fixtures. Utrecht's key players included Chan Bosdowan and Garano Kirk, while Taylor Booth showed consistency in the league. However, their star man is Noah Ohio. From Almira, he had a unique youth career, switching between both Mancunian clubs and even a stint at RB Leipzig. A return to his birth nation didn't manifest much until Ten Hag arrived. Their start would slow down due to a 3-3 draw to Feyenoord and a loss away to PSV. But after signing a contract in October, him and Utrecht remained strong throughout the remainder of 2026. Chrooman, on the other hand, couldn't stop losing. A scoreless draw against his former club and a victory over NAC Breda was a temporary positive. Afterwards, the side would lose 5 in a row. They were tight defeats to be fair, but the higher division proved difficult to adapt to. A 4-2 loss to Heerenveen, who won the promotional playoff, was tough to take. As usual, tactics were questioned, injuries occurred, and new players became annoyed due to playing out of position. Through 11 match days, they were 12th, 2 points above relegation. Meanwhile, Ten Hag is in a European spot. In their build-up to their first ever encounter, there were 2 match days. Utrecht comfortably put away AZ and Willem II, and Eindhoven ended their poor form. Ian Verlaat again was crucial with a goal in a 1-1 draw with Twente and a hat-trick versus Almere City. That placed them with Big Mitro as top scorers in the division. Utrecht still had more than double the points of them. Most annoyingly of all, talks began about Utrecht in the Eredivisie title race, with both PSV and Ajax 2 points ahead. It was miraculous work by Eric, and Chrooman wanted to put a stop to it. The anticipated encounter arrived. Master versus Apprentice. What a shit headline. Master of what? Defeat was expected, and drama began prior to kickoff with Chrooman's demeanor towards Ten Hag. This meant a lot to Ronald, but 3 minutes in, Noah Ohio was left wide open. You've got to be kidding me. This wasn't a joke, as in the 15th minute, Chrooman's misery continued with Taylor Booth flopping for a penalty. Caprari made it 2, as this seemed to be a tragic comedy. However, after half an hour, Eindhoven burst up the pitch, and Renato Vega's run from midfield got rewarded. It wasn't a match with a lot of opportunities, and Eindhoven struggled to find much well into the second half. Utrecht smacked a free kick off the post, and Noah Ohio grabbed the third. It was offside though, and that decision kept Eindhoven in it. Chrooman switched to his roots for the last 15 minutes, a 5-back system that brought forth more chances to Utrecht. So Chrooman wagered it all and went on the mega offensive. Chances began to arrive, but Hershey missed. Not long later, he'd receive it again in the box and found the Boli for the equalizer. Undeserved? Potentially, but the celebrations were majestic as Utrecht's pursuit for the title was halted.
This guy, for everything I've done for his career, he decides to celebrate like he's won the Dutchman? A 3-1 loss to Sparta Rotterdam after? And another damn unlucky draw. Ajax?
3-1 down to AZ Alkmaar, FC Eindhoven turned this game around. Across to De Boli made it 3-2, and another, this time a header down to Muyen for an equalizer. In the final 10 minutes,
Let's go!
The new Dutch youth international Verlaat would grab a 5th to cement the victory. It's a shame that the final games before the winter break resulted in only 1 win. And a torn hamstring for Janga. Worst of all, Brett Muyen, who has low-key been a baller with 5 goals and 6 assists, suffered a twisted ankle in the new year. The team were placed in 10th with 22 points. Meanwhile, Utrecht comfortably remained in a European spot. The start to January troubled Eindhoven. A loss to Ajax is understandable, yet elimination to FC Volendam in the Dutch Cup and a defeat to FC Groningen in the league caused some adjustments to the system and the arrival of a proper defensive midfielder. Renato Vega worked better in center midfield, and to convert more Tonkara was like bashing your head into a wall. John Thompson can do a decent job there, but the 4.3 million transfer of Sergio Gonzalez was a significant improvement. By the end of the window, the original 16 transfers upped to 25, and you'll never see most of them. The tactical tweaks reversed the bad form, as Chrooman defeated go-ahead Eagles 3-1. Afterwards, NAC Breda were smashed thanks to Verlaat's hat-trick. FC Volendam kept things even, while Fortuna Sittard were subsequently defeated. A 4-match undefeated run placed Eindhoven in 9th, and with 9 to play, they may have a shot at Europe, although tough games approached, like 2nd place Feyenoord. It was a game that saw little action. However, to begin the second half, a penalty was earned for Eindhoven, only for Verlaat to get stopped. Normally, that would destroy a kid's confidence, but Ian Verlaat was not some kid. In the 71st minute, a crossman for Hershey was fumbled by Baylo, and Verlaat was right there to win the game. A massive performance at home, but away from it, Eindhoven would struggle, like in the derby. Enes Destan left unmarked, gave PSV the double. Back home, a solid 3-1 victory over Heerenveen. On the road, a 2-1 loss to Twente. Back at home, a 2-1 triumph over Almere City. Now, it was time to travel to Utrecht. Since their draw with Ajax, Ten Hag's men went on a 14-match undefeated run that spanned across 5 months. While they didn't win many against the very best in the country, they won the games they were supposed to, which led them into first place. Temporarily. Ajax, Feyenoord, and PSV were all within a grasp of the shield. The race was about to be shaken up, with Ajax hosting PSV on matchday 30. The result could make this race crazier, or it'd become a battle between Ajax and Utrecht. Ajax lost 3 of their prior 5, which caused this scenario. At the Johan Cruyff Arena, they wouldn't have a problem, as a Mitrovic hat-trick returned them to first. That leads us to Ten Hag versus Chrooman. Europe became a realistic possibility for FC Eindhoven, while Utrecht needed to keep up with Ajax in order to make their season finale showdown meaningful. Ajax swung into form at the right time, destroying Heerenveen to win the Dutch Cup. Helps when you receive 4 penalties, and defeated them again away from home. Pressure on Ten Hag. For Chrooman, he was excited to ruin Ten Hag's chase for the title. Hershey nearly made it a possibility. Eindhoven looked solid, but the second half was when the state of Ohio rejoiced over good things said about their name. Noah would do the unthinkable. 30 yards away from goal, he took on the entire Eindhoven team and magically scored the opener. Later on, he doubled the lead to keep Utrecht in the title race. Chrooman was pissed and couldn't imagine a world where Ten Hag would win an Eredivisie. It was all out of his hands, as he had to see the media praise the bald man. On the last match day, it was Ajax versus FC Utrecht. Ten Hag's return to the Eredivisie began rocky, but he was a victory away from a miraculous title. Winning their first Eredivisie as FC Utrecht would be like a fairy tale, and a second-minute goal from Josip Schutalo made it remain that way. Ajax would pulverize Utrecht 4-0 and lift the Eredivisie. Chrooman was thrilled to hear about that after his side qualified for the European playoff spot. Maybe a little too thrilled about the former. 7 points in the final 3 games saw a miraculous 5th place finish. Here's how it works. Ajax's Dutch Cup triumph causes 5th to 8th to battle it out in a 4-team knockout, win 2 knockout rounds, and earn the right to play in the Europa Conference League qualifiers. FC Eindhoven's position gave them home advantage. These fixtures are normally dramatic, but like the title decider, it seemed a foregone conclusion. Sparta Rotterdam couldn't handle the heat, as it became 3-0 within 16 minutes. A penalty for Sparta in the 50th minute had them crawl back within 1. However, Hershey would score a brace in the remaining time to set a FC Eindhoven vs Twente final. More pressure? Not for Chrooman. Before Twente could score their first, Eindhoven had 3, thanks to Hershey and a Muyen brace. Patrick Peda and Franco De Boli added to the tally to earn a 5-1 victory and confirm European football. Overall, a welcome surprise, as Europe didn't seem to be on the thought for the most part. A bunch of young players stepped up, including the now 18-year-old Ian Verlaat, who scored 18. Muyen had 19 goal contributions, which awarded him the Best Young Player of the Year and Best Transfer. Plus, Hershey found his feet in the latter half, which brought forth his incredible end of season. The top 4 are out of reach for this moment, but here's where Chrooman is at with this challenge. No trophies for Ten Hag, but his highest league finish is 2nd. Surpassing that will be a challenge in itself, and who knows how Utrecht will do in Europe and in domestic cups. For Chrooman though, he's sure he'll catch up and make sure Ten Hag is defeated in a match. A league stage spot in the Conference League and maybe a run in the Cup would be a bonus. Who knows what challenges he'll run into, but chasing Ten Hag continues.